Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, a few videos ago, I shared with you a Valentine design using some stamps from my Halloween collection. So I thought it might be appropriate to go ahead and create another Valentine Day card using some stamps from my Christmas collection. Now this card is for a sketch and theme challenge going on right now over at STAMPlorations. And our theme this month is animals. They also have a sketch that you can participate in, and my first card that I created at the first of the month followed the sketch. So I thought I would go ahead and create a card using an animal theme. Now, of course, I wanted to go ahead and create a Valentine Day card, but I didn't have very many animal stamps from STAMPlorations, but I did have this Deer Christmas set. So I went ahead and pulled that out of my stash and decided to create a Valentine's Day card. Now this set is called Reindeer Games, and it has some really cute Christmas sentiments, but it also had a sentiment that said, "I love you this much," and it had a little deer with open arms. So I thought that would be great for a Valentine's Day card. Now the card that I'm creating for you today is a very simple one, but really I wanted to show you how it's really easy to create holiday cards using stamp sets from different holidays. Now, of course, it probably wouldn't have been appropriate to use one of the sentiments that says Merry Christmas, or I think on this set it also says Bring on the Mistletoe. But you can easily use stamps from sets to create your Valentine's Day cards. Now, as you see here, I have two different stamp sets that I'm working with. And then I ended up needing a heart, so I pulled out a third stamp set from STAMPlorations. So don't be afraid to mix and match your stamp sets to create the desired outcome. Also, if you notice, I'm using non-traditional Valentine's Day colors. I outlined the card with black cardstock, and then I used some brown ink. I needed the brown ink to go ahead and ground my deer because I didn't want it to look like he was floating. But I thought it would probably be appropriate to bring in some Valentine Day colors. So I did bring out my red ink from scrapbook.com to stamp my I love you this much. And then again, I decided to add the hearts using the red ink. Now for those of you that are paying attention, you may see that my heart that I just stamped didn't come out crisp red, and that's because my red ink pad is a little bit contaminated. Oftentimes when I'm stamping my stamp sets, I don't clean my stamps, and I don't know if it's intentional or just lazy, but typically it's not a problem. But when I did go to use this red ink pad, I did contaminate it with black. Now personally, I don't mind because I like the grunge and I never go for perfection. But you want to be really careful when you are using your stamps that if you do have some ink pads that you don't want to get contaminated, to make sure that you clean those off. A lot of times I'll use just clean baby wipes, and those seem to work really well. Now you might have noticed that I haven't brought out my Copic ink markers in a while. So for this little deer, I did decide to color him in using my Copic markers. I'm just using some brown tones, and again, I'm coming in with the black for the hooves. I'm not going to bore you through my coloring process, so I will cut through some of this, but I just wanted to let you know that I did do some shading, and it's just a traditional browns. I think the colors that I ended up using were the E21 and the E35, and then for the antlers, I used... what did I use? I used more of a copper, which is the E18. I think I also used the E37. So just some basic brown tones and then the black. So once I was finished coloring up my deer, I decided there still was a little bit too much white space for my taste. So I decided to grunge it up using another stamp from the Scribbly Splattery Grunge set from STAMPlorations. Now again, you can easily leave it as it is and call it a day. Maybe even add a little bit of a washi tape. But you guys know me, I like to have grunge, and that's typically why I don't do clean and simple cards. So using my vintage photo oxide, I used one of the stamps from that Scribbly Splattery Grunge set just to add a little bit more interest to the background. So hopefully I've given you some ideas on how to use some of those stamp sets that you may have put away after the holidays, and it will encourage you or inspire you to go check them out and see if there's anything you can use for Valentine's Day. I'll leave a list for you below of all the products that I've used to create the card and links to the stores. Now, if you've enjoyed my video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of my little deer card. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right, everybody, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.